That's awesome.
I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Good Ol Wrasslin. It's the Royal Rumble recap episode. Not a very high-key, large episode tonight. Just going to be talking about the Royal Rumble. That's a little bit of the happenings here and there. We got the usual get boys in the house. We got Shifty and Rome's. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up?
Nothing much. Nothing much. It is a very cold week. Very cold Friday night, and what better way to talk about than the Royal Rumble that happened a few days ago. A lot of people were talking about it, a lot of good, a lot of bad. And we'll talk about that, especially when it comes to the winners, because I have a lot to say here. But before I begin, I just want to put out this disclaimer out here because some of you wrestling fans, okay? Look, listen. To all the normal hygienic ones, y'all cool. You know, we like us. We just sit here, we vibe. You know, we talk about wrestling. Sometimes we have really shit takes, like, but at the same time, you know, we're pretty normal. I think.
Pretty normal. Pretty.
We're kind of normal here. We're not like the monstrosities here. We're not the oddities. Now, however, there's a large group of you that are really weird.
Really weird.
Like really, really weird, and you all need to touch grass. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You gotta touch grass.
Or sand, depending on where you live.
Sand, snow, grass,
concrete,
bricks, stones, fire. If you're into that, like, look. You gotta leave these women wrestlers alone. They don't like you. You're weird. You smell bad. Like, go in the shower, touch, get some dumbbells. It'll help. I promise. I promise you, it'll help.
Yeah, you'll never be ready for Asuka. Never.
No, you never
Absolutely
will
not.
be. We here on the Good Ol Wrasslin panel, we all respect and love Asuka.
Yeah.
In a healthy way. We have to we probably should say that in a healthy way, probably.
Yeah, of course.
See, we're not weird. We respect women wrestlers here.
Yes.
But you know who we do not respect, though?
Charlotte Flair.
See, I just throw it across the plate, and Shifty hits the home run. Right
so
there.
Do we want to talk about the Women's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, let's talk about that first. Does anybody want to start here? Because I don't want to start that awkward conversation.
I enjoy most of it. I was pulling for Io Sky. Unfortunately, she was number one, so
yeah,
I was impressed that she stayed in it that long, including Liv Morgan, even though they didn't win it. You know, once she was number one, I was like, oh, well, there goes that pick. But for most of the match, I thought it was okay, but like just for a while, nothing really happened. It took a while before they finally eliminated somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Which was interesting because I think there was like 10 or 12 women before the first one was eliminated. B-Fab was eliminated, so that was interesting. I enjoyed it for most of it until like the end, where how they kind of like just threw everybody out of the ring thanks to Nia Jax, and then it just became
that was terrible.
Yeah,
that was a terrible spot.
Horrible.
you know, first of all, I gotta agree with you, Rome's. I was also rooting for Io Sky. A part of me was rooting for her, even though part of me knew she wasn't gonna win. But I was
Mhm.
like, come on, Io, please. And then she lost, and I was like, oh, no, she got eliminated. Like, she lasted a while there, then she got eliminated. I'm like, great, Charlotte's
Yeah.
gonna win, isn't she? Fuck.
I think she
So,
lasted for like 56 minutes. Her and Liv Morgan lasted like almost an hour, which was I was surprised by that. I didn't think they were going to stay there, both of them staying there that long. But they put on a good show until how they were ended, which I felt like they weren't really protected. It was just kind
no,
of let's make
it felt,
Nia
it
Jax
almost felt
strong again.
anticlimactic in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I will kind of agree with you, Romes. I think the first portion of the Rumble I felt was very slow.
hmm
Like, there wasn't a whole lot there. Like, there was some decent wrestling in there, but not a whole lot to be like, oh my god, like this is I can't, like, I'm jumping out of my slippers right now. Like, thank you to
Well,
yeah,
I think that everybody jumped out of their slippers when Jordan Grace did a Death Valley driver to Piper Niven.
mhm.
Dude, let me tell you, Jordan Grace, if booked well, she's gonna be the next big star, women's star there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're building her to wrestle Rhea at some point.
I did hear rumors that Jordan Grace is gonna go to NXT and work with Giulia.
Julia,
Julia.
okay,
Julia,
Julia.
yes, Julia, yeah.
yeah,
Which,
she doesn't really need more NXT stuff. I mean, Raw Women's right now needs some fresh ladies in there because it's just Rhea and Nia Jax and I don't know who else is going to be showing up besides Liv Morgan and Io Sky.
I tell
Chef
you what,
Shawn
that
Michaels, the
that
chef, was like, listen, yeah, I don't give a shit. Just listen, Jordan, come here. You want to work the stand and deliver match? Come on. I'll just fork over some money here real quick. Just gonna cook.
I tell you what, that big girl from the WNBA, who was that?
Oh, Latasha, not
I think it's
Latasha.
Lash Legend, I believe.
Super
Yeah, you're close.
impressive.
Yeah, Last
Yeah,
Legend. That's her name. She was very impressive. I agree. I didn't know who she was either, but she's somebody from NXT, which I was like, okay, like
They said she was 5'10". I guess everybody's real short on the women's division because she looked like she was like 6'5" or something. I was like,
yeah,
wow, she's tall. Yeah, yeah. People always go around saying, "Oh, that tall person must play basketball." She actually did. She actually did. She was in the WNBA. Also, Chelsea Green, wonderful performance.
I
oh yeah,
agree. She was the thing that kind of brought the crowd back into the Royal Rumble when she came out
Yeah,
and try to do something. And she was the most entertaining part that got everybody back into the Women's Royal Rumble because it was just a very, like you said, Swifty, it was very slow. It took her and Bianca to finally do something to get people really into it again.
I think. Go ahead,
No, I was gonna say
Austin.
because of Bianca's backflips with like 5 girls in the corner, I thought that was very entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah,
you know, oh yeah, that was a spot too. Oh my god, I honestly, I like a lot of the show. I just kind of wiped from my memory a little bit because I'm just like, oh man,
Yeah,
like
Chelsea. Chelsea's going to be like she's man. I think just for her antics alone, I think she's going to be a real big deal. Longevity wise, she's like somebody like the Miz that can do comedy, but she can actually wrestle when
oh
right.
when
yeah,
when she's asked to. I hope she's there forever because she's so good.
oh she's
Agreed.
very good. I love that she has Piper Niven as her like oh god, what did they like Secretary of State or something? Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I was like, oh okay,
Yeah,
that's smart. Like, she's the U.S. champion. She's from Canada, but she is the U.S. champ. But
yeah.
I respect it.
I just like that she plays as this entitled, rich white girl who deserves everything, and then she gets pissy when she doesn't get what she wants. Just a whole character that she really continues to really develop and can be unpredictable at times. Like she's just been, last year was a great year for her, and she continues that going into this year.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But
A lot of NXT standouts too.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Roxanne,
dude,
Jada.
Roxanne lasting as long as she did. Holy shit. Like, she
Yeah.
make it to the final two. Like, granted, again, we'll talk about the winner when we talk about the winner. But kind of having her part of the final two is a big deal for her. Like, it goes to show, like, there's a lot of confidence in her that she's going to be one of their top women's stars moving forward.
Right.
So,
I mean, they did a stare down between Julia, Vekar, and Perez towards Bianca, Bailey, and Flair. So they were really trying to show a passing of the torch. But
Oh my God.
they're forcing a lot of things in this Royal Rumble that didn't really need to happen right away.
Stephanie Bakar. Oh my God. She's really good, and she's good looking too. But she's really good in the ring. She should be pretty huge when she hits the main roster. I hope
I agree.
they give her some sort of really awesome entrance when she lands on the main roster, because she's got a great look, great unique look.
Agree. I mean,
Chef Sean's not willing to let the women's wrestlers go yet. He's like, no.
no.
He's like, no, let me cook here, Trips.
That's
He
his like. Those are the girls that he needs to get people to watch NXT.
Yeah, they got so many good women's wrestlers down there. I need to start watching more, and I gotta be careful what I say here, but I mean also they're good wrestlers too. Sol Roca and Bakar and Julia, and just great talent, and I feel sorry for Natty and some of the girls up on the main roster, because once they come up, there's going to be no room. It may be a good thing that they did they did partner up with TNA, and there's rumors that they may buy them, because they can filter some of the older wrestlers over to TNA, and they could have a new life over there.
Yeah, that's the rumor I heard too. They're quietly buying up some of the territories without making it really known.
I mean, if they do that, hashtag RIP TNA.
Yeah.
They lasted longer than they probably should have. Let's be real.
This may give them more exposure now, because you throw Natty over there, or some other gals that are kind of popular, but they've kind of ran their course with all the new people coming in. It may give people more reason to watch Access TV.
Well, that's true too. I think, but like, if like it was a situation where they ended up buying them and just absorbing them, like, yeah, RIP TNA. But hey, listen, if they're gonna keep them around as like a little like just indie thing, like, hey, you know what? Put the talent that you're not gonna use, like, put them over there. Let them do their own thing, rebuild themselves, and just go from there.
Yeah, I agree with them. My hope is that they just leave them alone and just be that quiet owner that you don't really hear of, and they're just business as usual. And that WWE technically owns them. Just kind of like keep just leave them the way they are, because their success has been pretty good so far with that resurgence. I just think they should just leave them alone after they buy them and just let them continue doing what they've been doing over there.
But maybe let AJ go over there and do some stuff, because that was his former home, and he doesn't really have a spot. I mean, he has a spot, but I mean, let's be honest that he's going to be pushed aside I mean, he already is kind of. So
he's in that. He's in that awkward place. But the whole women's division right now, from top to bottom, is just super stacked.
Yeah,
with so many great talent.
And then you got Britt Baker maybe coming over, so that's going to be insane.
That will be interesting if she does cross over into WWE. I'm very curious to see what Shawn Michaels would do with her, because I know she'll probably go to NXT first.
Chef Sean pulling out the stacks of cash, going, Britt, listen, I gotta really stack up my women's division here. Please come over to NXT. We got a lot of great women here, but we just need a few more. We need to make this roster the best roster you ever have.
I'm just wondering, if I know he's kind of polarizing because of his political views, but if they bring Britt Baker over, they got to get Kane in to play I Gank him in some form in one of her promos or something.
Mr. Mayor and the dentist.
I don't think they've ever made a figure of Isaac Yankem from Mattel. They need to do that.
Wait, really?
I don't remember one unless it was a limited edition or something. I don't recall.
Here, now I gotta look because now I'm curious now. They had to have, right?
Either it's a super limited edition or it's a custom. I don't remember.
Oh no, Mattel has done it. They've done an Elite
Oh,
Isaac
really?
Yankem. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
WWE Wrestling Flashback Series Elite Dr. Isaac Yankem.
That's nuts.
And you can get it on eBay right now for $85.
No, thank you. Sorry.
Wow.
I don't like Isaac Yankem that much.
Nope.
We don't like
Nope.
Mr. Mayor that much. It's fine.
Heck,
That's kind of hilarious.
I'm kind of hesitant to pay even 33 for a Dusty Rhodes figure. I don't want to pay 85 for Yankem.
Yeah, come on. It's like Dusty Rhodes or a fucking dentist. I mean, come on. There's not a very
Well, this is leading to a rant I was doing. I was going to do on YouTube. I collect. I don't collect, but this is what's keeping me from going hardcore into the wrestling figures. Target has the license to do like the main Legends line, right? They only have 3 months, a 3-month window on those suckers, because like Vader, he came out in October, right? The Ultimate Edition. Gone on his website, on the website, gone. You can't, it's not in stores now. You can't order nothing. A 3-month window, right? Well, you got so many people trying to scalp them things and get there as soon as it opens, and they'll buy everything up and then they'll put it on eBay and they put it for high prices. That's so hard to for a newcomer like to get into wrestling figures, like, or old person who's like, okay, I want to buy some of these old Legends and stuff. They don't ship enough to stores, and they're all bought out. And then when you go to the aftermarket on eBay, they're jacked up like $40, $50, $60, and you're like, why? What's the deal here? I mean, it's annoying as crap. It's terrible.
It is very annoying. I do agree with that.
I mean, Yokozuna figure that I wanted, Ultimate, from like it came out like last year, and I missed the boat on it. It's like $55 now on eBay, and I'm like, I can't do that. Not for just one figure. Yeah, it's 45 to 50 right now. There's a Chase where he's wearing a white and red outfit. Nobody wants that. They want the black and the red outfit. What he always wore. And that's the one that's just bringing the top dollar, and that you can't get a deal anywhere on it, and it sucks. It sucks. I if you want anything, you gotta pre-order, or you gotta get there as soon as the store opens, and you gotta be there. Like, you gotta constantly go to those stores, Target stores, to try to find them, or you're shit out of luck. It's crazy.
It's
crazy. Don't get into toy collecting.
Unless you just want to buy a basic Roman Reigns off the shelf.
It's very addicting when you get into toy collecting.
Yeah. I got a Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid today, but the damn thing had brown hair. The Chase has blonde hair, and I know him more with blonde hair. So now I got to go try to find that blonde hair version of Sid, and that sucks. Chases sucks. They should have put out alternate version of figures because like that, especially if it's a more popular version, because you'll never find it. I'd like to get a Mattel executive on the show so I can like give him a straight talking to about how much their practices suck. Like, you guys need to do better, Mattel.
Gonna give him a stern talking to.
Yeah, stern talking to. God darn it.
You know who else needs a stern talking to? Whoever booked Charlotte Flair to win the Royal Rumble. Look, listen, all right, look, well, let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Look, I understand why they gave her the Rumble win.
Wait. That's a poor choice of words. After all the plastic surgery she's had done, that's a poor choice of words.
Wait, what did I say?
Rip the Band-Aid off?
Oh. Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes.
God damn. Oh. So
Every time she comes back, she looks different. She looks totally different. I don't understand it. Oh, and she got divorced from what's his face?
Andrade.
That just
yeah, I heard
that-
about that. Yeah.
It just out of the blue.
That's pretty
Out
funny.
of the blue. Wow. Okay, back to Charlotte.
So okay, but that's probably another topic for another time. So I understand why they gave Charlotte the win, right? Like I get it. She's a big name. She's been gone for a long time. They want to give her a big win, to cement her coming back. But why? What was the point of giving Charlotte Flair a Rumble win in 2025? She's already won the damn thing.
Yeah.
She's gonna get a title match WrestleMania anyway.
Yeah.
What was the point of any of this? It almost made the Rumble match itself kind of feel pointless and long. Because Rumble matches are long anyway, but it felt like I watched the match just for a result that I knew coming a mile away that I knew was going to happen.
They could at least got her in there halfway and just actually had her perform. But the problem is, I don't want to get too personal here, and she doesn't look good. I'm not saying she beauty wise, she used to be built better, right? She came back and she reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 8, where he came back in, he was real skinny, and nobody thought that was the Ultimate Warrior. They thought he had died and he was replaced by a different Ultimate Warrior.
Right. Yep.
She doesn't look like the Charlotte Flair of old, who was built, who was stacked. I know she's trying to embrace her feminine side, and she has plastic surgery and stuff, and she wants to look more feminine, but that's not marketable for her frame and her image as we know her in the past. She didn't look as impressive, and her just coming out and doing a poor performance on top of it, it was just totally underwhelming. I mean, if she was like the Charlotte Flair that we knew, like totally like built and just doing moves left and right, and just that would have been a lot better way to go. She came in like 15 and just stirred up crap the whole time, just throwing people out left and right. But that on top of the whole thing with Nia, where everybody was on the ropes dangling, that was a clusterfuck. I've never seen something that bad in a Rumble. And she just like barely touched them and they all fall down. It was like, what was that? I don't understand.
It was just a very poor. I feel like the final two of it being Roxanne and Charlotte as well didn't really help. Like the fact that I was like, oh great, Charlotte's gonna win. Let's get ready, folks. Charlotte wins LOL. Charlotte wins Lamau. We all knew it was gonna happen, and great for Roxanne because she got it. She had a great showing in the Rumble, but other than that, like Charlotte just, and also like Roxanne's elimination wasn't even that impressive either. It was just Charlotte just pushing her out. And then it was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, never mind. And then she was calling up somebody in the apron during her post-match celebration. I'm thinking, oh God, please don't drag Ric Flair out here, please, for the love of God.
No, we don't need Ric Flair. Leave the poor guy alone.
Keep him away. And I just saw it was referee. I'm like, oh thank God. Oh thank God we're not doing another Rick and Charlotte crying in the ring moment. Thank God, please. I wouldn't be able to handle it. It was just.
Oh, sorry, Austin. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if we're comparing this to the Jey Uso thing, which we'll talk about later, but I watched a video from OTRS Central and he said it best. And I'm just kind of paraphrasing here. Like Jey Uso winning was smart because it was unexpected, but you have somebody who's very over with the crowd and it's a new star that you're trying to build. With Charlotte, she's already an established star. What exactly? It's pointless.
I mean, if they wanted to wrestle for the women's championship, put her in the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
Make her at least try to earn her way there instead of just throwing her in there and just giving it to her at the very end. I don't know if you guys watched Raw, but on Monday night when she came out, she got a shitload of boos and people just were not.
That was
I think, yeah. Go ahead, Shifty.
that was awful. That promo where she was trying to relate to the fans, be like, "Oh my God," she goes, "I love each and one of you," and oh my God, that was terrible.
We were
Yeah, her
all
promo
like,
was horrible too.
we were all like, "Oh, brother, she stinks."
Yeah, yeah,
It's
And
like,
yeah, it was a bad promo, but just like her coming out, taking her time to the ring, because all the ladies were just trying to run because they're under like a specific time period to get this Royal Rumble, you know, thing over with, because they're with sponsors and everything. So the ramp being as long as it was just did not help at all with the Royal Rumble itself. Um, but I just didn't think Charlotte was that good. I think she might have been like rushed back for the Royal Rumble.
yeah.
yeah, she did come off very rough at points, and I'm just like, oh no, this is not like she had a very big knee brace on too, which granted I get it. She tore like everything in her leg, I think. Like
Yeah.
so
And wasn't there a moment in the Rumble where it looked like she got injured, or was it on Raw? Because I know that there was some moment where they were saying, "Oh, her knee," but I don't know if she got hurt. I guess she did because she's been on all the shows since. But man, that was just bad. It was bad. And if it wasn't Charlotte, it would have been Becky. They would have brought Becky back, and she would have been put in the same position.
oh yeah,
I
no. I think the fans would have had the same reception if Becky won if it wasn't Charlotte, because
Yeah.
everyone would have said the same thing. And it's been worse with Becky recently with the whole, oh, Becky Hogan's here. Oh, here comes Becky. She's going to put down the young talent. You know what? I actually despise that, and I'm going to explain why. Because a few years ago, and I want everybody to remember when Becky was not nowhere near the level where she was. She was just like she was there, and we were all like, "Oh, come on, let's give Becky a push." And everybody, and then Vince was like, "Oh no, I don't want to give Becky a push." Charlotte Flair, yeah, Charlotte Flair, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going back like 10 years ago, where it was like the four horsewomen. It was Bailey, Charlotte, um,
Sasha.
Sasha, and then it was Sasha, and then Becky. Becky
Yeah.
was like the least one.
And then once she had a breakthrough moment, everyone was like, "Yeah, give her a push." And then once she got the push, everyone hated her. It was like, and a lot of that was not her fault. A lot of it was just the booking she was given was shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that wasn't her fault. Now, in later years, and like, if you read her book, which I haven't read all of her book, but there was an excerpt that was on Twitter where it was the whole Bianca SummerSlam debacle where they had her squash Bianca, and like she literally promised Bianca, they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you to WrestleMania. I'm gonna give you your win back." And you know what? She did that. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
say what you will about her. Say, "Oh well, Becky has never put over young talent." Um, She has actually. She's put over more talent than Charlotte has.
I mean, the way I look at it, you have to look at who's booking the matches, who's behind the scenes, who sees these different pictures and are really standing by certain people to push
Yeah.
certain people that they like, than just seeing what the fans want, and that happens all the time, especially whether it's Vince McMahon or Triple H or whoever else. It's all about, it's their guy or their girl they're going to push no matter what.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
I just think more fans need to give Becky a little bit more respect. And I do think, like, I don't want people going, "Oh, well, you guys shat on Charlotte." No, I'm not even saying this as a person who hates Charlotte. I
No.
like her work. I just think her winning the
2000
Rumble, I felt like was a waste.
2016, she was my wrestler of the year over AJ Styles. That's how much I liked her that year, and I still like her. I just wish they would use her better. This was not the right way to use her.
no.
There were a few returns here that were cool. There's a couple. No, because there wasn't a whole lot of returns actually.
There was only 3 that came in that surprised people. It was Trish Stratus, which was great to see her with a callback in her old Raw wrestling, an old look that she brought back, which is pretty cool. Obviously the big one was Alexa Bliss, and then the other one was Nikki Bella.
Let me tell you, when Nikki Bella came out at number 30, I just rolled my eyes and face palmed.
That was the worst number 30 pick you could do. Like, don't put someone like that at number 30.
No.
I don't know.
Another fail in WWE.
I don't know if it was during the Rumble, but or what. There was a clip on Twitter where they had some fans in a WWE sponsored box seat, and they were watching Nikki's entrance, and you could hear in the on the background, Michael Cole was like, "These WWE fans were just marking out for the return of Brie Bella," and they were just sitting there like, "Oh, Brie Bella, oh, what?" As everybody was expecting AJ Lee, and they get
Yeah.
Brie. Remember what AJ said? Talent isn't sexually transmitted.
Oh God, you
But the Nikki
know.
Bella surprise, I was like looking at her, and you see the wrestlers, female lady wrestlers looking at her, and I'm like, she's so out of place because she's a reminder of what
Yeah,
women's wrestling were, 15, yeah, 15, 16, maybe 18 years ago, where like
Y-
they're just divas. They weren't really considered wrestlers, and they were just doing things that you don't see girls doing today in wrestling. They're more wrestlers than what they were doing. So it was just she felt very out of place.
I I,
Yeah,
abs- I absolutely hate her because the Bellas keep on saying that they're the ones that started the women's revolution. No, no, it was AJ, and
Oh,
they
definitely AJ.
and they keep trying to take that away from AJ, and it's bullcrap. Whenever AJ comes back, I hope that they let her do a pipe bomb and just air all that shit out on the. Well, she already did. She already did. She did it. She did it when she was talking. Like I just quoted her when she did it. But it's just things that they've said since, and they kind of just. I know they had to, but they just swept AJ under the rug because of Punk. It's bullcrap, and since he's good with the company, they need to right some wrongs that they did to her after she left because
Oh, it
as an
was super
AJ Lee
awkward.
fan, it's terrible what they did to her after she left. I mean, just acting like she didn't exist. I know they had to for some reasons, but now is time to go back and correct history.
I mean, she stayed there for 1 year after Punk left, and it had to be super awkward for her
Yeah,
because and especially with Punk talking about we know the stories with Punk where he got his service papers on his wedding day and all sorts of other stuff with AJ Lee. So it had to be super awkward for her to still
yeah,
work for that company, knowing just how big people are talking about CM Punk versus WWE or versus whoever, Vince McMahon or Laurinaitis or whatever else back then.
Vince swears up and down that he was not aware of that they got the
Uh,
papers on. That's what he told Austin. He said
yeah,
he didn't do it. He said he didn't do it. He didn't know. So it's supposedly Triple H or I mean he had a lot of idiots or assholes working underneath him. You had that
yeah.
one talent relations guy that was always on Total Divas, that little prick that supposedly was a real scumbag behind the scenes that they got rid of, and then you had John Laurinaitis and guys like that. And I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Vince was a sociopath. I mean, anything that he says,
Yeah,
you can never figure out if he's telling the truth or not.
yeah, yeah.
like I'm sorry, I just don't buy that he didn't at least have any sort of knowledge that Punk was getting married on that day. Like he had to have known something.
Oh, he had to. I mean, I'm sure CM Punk put a request in months in advance, and all that stuff because he was, talking about how like, he was requesting time off for weddings and this and that, and in advance they kept saying no. So I'm sure they've
No,
had to have
Punk.
known about it.
No, you're gonna work with Ryback and you're gonna like it.
Yep,
I'm dumb as fuck.
exactly. We're gonna put you the dumbest fucking wrestler on earth. Good luck. And it's gonna be a fucking ladders match, tables match, cage match. We're gonna throw everything at you with Ryback.
Dude,
Ryback,
that story is so crazy, by the way.
I love it.
Punk had surgery on his knee, and Vince was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, in 3 weeks you got to wrestle Ryback in a TLC match."
uh,
It sounds so comical, but it's true. Like it's just, this is how Vince thinks. He just sees everybody as his toys, and you either dance for him or he'll find
yeah,
someone else.
Vince was like, "All right, listen, I know you had knee surgery, but we need to build you up first so Dwayne can beat you at the Rumble. So we need you to rehab real quick, and we need you to face Ryback in a TLC match. Just look,
Absolutely.
you'll walk by then, right, Punk? I don't know. Probably. I don't. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, no, you'll be fine, pal. It's like, no, sir. I literally, dude, I'm in a wheelchair. I can't walk. Like, what? What? How do you expect me to work with this guy? It's either you're dumb as fuck, or and you suck, or you did it on purpose. I'm dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. God, that's so legendary right there.
So it
Man.
truly is, especially
But you
the
know,
animated version of it.
oh my god, the animated version is so fucking. It's funny because this happened. All of this happened, and like, so listen, I know a lot of the Punk haters like, oh, CM Punk doesn't like speaking the truth, but you listen to that Ryback thing and you look at everything, and you even look at some of the footage, you're like, no, this happened.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you know what else? You know what was not legendary? Sadly, the tag team championship match, which was
What I don't. And people were like, on Twitter, they were like, man, they were like, man, this tag team match, man, I don't get it. I liked it up until the finish. The finish was stupid and it ruined the match. But the rest of the match was awesome. But they were like, well, we don't know who these people are. Who cares about DIY? I was like, did you watch NXT at all during the glory days? Like the DIY versus the Revival. Did you see that match? That's
oh
like
my
one of the greatest
god,
matches of all time.
that
I did.
man. Saying that it makes me miss NXT. Oh my god,
Yeah,
black and
yeah,
gold. Yeah, you
yeah,
had to be there, man. Holy shit.
yeah. I'm like the match was great. It was just the finish, and they were like, meh. Don't meh that. God damn it, meh.
Man, remember when NXT was like the best thing about the pay-per-view weekends?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember?
That both that and it was always that and the pre-show where you would have New Day versus the Usos every single pre-show, and it would be the best match on the card.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all inwardly groan and go, "Oh god, the pay-per-view's next." Fuck. Like there was like it was like 2018, right? It was Money in the Bank, and like there was NXT Takeover Chicago, and then on one card you had Ciampa Gargano in a street fight, and then on the other card you had Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. How the fuck are you gonna compare those two? How, like, if any wrestling fan with a mind saw both of those cards, they would go, yeah, let's watch NXT Takeover instead. There is no way, no logical way that you're gonna sit there and tell me, oh, I'd rather watch Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal on pay-per-view. Like, what?
Well,
Like,
to be fair, the Ciampa and Gargano matches were just a little bit overbooked, but they were great.
oh no, they were overbooked, but that's what
Yeah.
made them so. That's what made them so awesome, is that they were so
Yeah.
crazily booked. You're like, oh my god, like. Now, to be fair, they weren't as bad as the Adam Cole and Gargano match,
Oh
like I
yeah,
think in New
yeah,
York, where like Gargano was kicking out of like 12 finishers. Like
yeah.
that amount would make Super Cena blush. Like,
Boy, Adam Cole, what a smart move to go to AEW to get with his girl and ditch NXT, where he was like a big time deal. I mean, of course, I could have just misspoke and said something that was foolish because I never actually saw him much in AEW, but it just feels like he made the wrong move there because they at least as far as his group is concerned, because that group kind of fell apart, and where's everybody else now? I mean, just they were they were getting ready to go to the main roster. It felt like, and it just went nowhere. It went nowhere. All that build up and nothing.
I believe I'm not mistaken. O'Reilly and Strong are in AEW with them, and they're part of his group now.
Okay.
And Bobby Fish is in MLW, I think.
Okay.
He was
Boom.
in TNA for like a cup of coffee, where he did that promo where he's like, "Folks, where's the lie?" And nobody reacted to it. They all just looked at him like, "What the
It
fuck
felt
is this guy
like
talking about?"
it felt like they were going to be the next big thing to
Yeah.
get after the Shield, and nothing. I
Vince
gotta
like, Dodge Speeder.
I gotta go. I gotta go get with my dentist. See you later. Bye. See ya.
But when you see like what NXT like turned into, like once like after that like last day where Adam Cole was at, I mean on the short term, I think Adam Cole probably got out of it before it got like really like bleh. But like long term wise, like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, Adam Cole made the wrong decision. Because like, look, I always view it when you go to another wrestling promotion, if you feel like you're gonna do a lot more than where you were.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Vince wanted him to be a manager, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Cody Starmaz was a manager.
things could have been much different. It should have been much different because the buildup was so good, and then it's just Vince did not know what to do with all those. We went over this last week. They didn't know what to do with all the NXT superstars. Aleister Black and Keith Lee. And, well, Keith had some problems, but I mean, man, if we could like turn back time, if we can find a way, man.
If there was just any way that we could have gotten Triple H in the booking position sooner, we might have had a chance.
Yeah. So what about that Cody Rhodes match?
Oh no! Before we get to that, I do want to comment on the tag match real quick.
Sure.
As far as the match goes, it was fine. Like I kind of agree with you, Shifty. The match itself was not bad. Like I know I think the problem is it happened after a women's rumble, so the crowd was kind of deflated there because everyone's like they were exhausted.
Charlotte Flair.
Well, the other thing is that this was the first time we saw a tag team championship match on a PLE in almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I could really use that as an excuse though, because I feel like with both teams, they could have easily pulled out something that would have made everybody go, "Oh my god, this is awesome," and I feel like they were getting to that gear of where it was gonna get good, and then it just kind of was like, okay, it was like, like, I agree with Shifty. The ending just kind of was just very weird because it was like the Street Profits came out there and they helped DIY win, but then they were like, "Not screw you, DIY. We want the belts." It's like
it wasn't weird. It was infuriating. The match was so good. I hate it. I hate when they anytime it's happened. Ever since I was a kid, you have a match that's so darn good, so well booked, so well performed, and they end it with a run in. It's infuriating. I can't stand when they do that.
I don't mind it if it's building up to something that's worth it, but my fear is because we all know where this is probably going to end up. It's going to be a big multi-man tag thing at WrestleMania. Probably another ladder match, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I mean they haven't really done enough to really help the tag team division, people thought they were going to do, which they haven't.
No, and that is something that I think WWE really needs to do in the new year. Is like start at least doing a little bit more tag team stuff, at least on pay-per-views. Like I'm not saying you have to have like them be defended on every pay-per-view because I get it. Like it's one of those things where not every pay-per-view needs every title defended. Like shows like Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, like stuff that like matches like the Money in the Bank ladder match, the Rumble, going to take like an hour long each. You know, I get it, but you could but on other shows you could at least incorporate an extra title or like a tag title in there just to sort of spruce it up a little bit, because these 4 or 5 match cards are a little ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying you need to AEW it by like having these pay-per-views be like 17 matches, but there's a happy medium here. Like you don't need to have like 4 or 5 matches. You could easily do like 6 or 7.
I don't know if that's workable in the Rumble unless you go back to doing. There were Rumbles where they had insanely short intervals. There was one where it was like a minute every minute. There was one where they came in a minute and a half, and there was obviously 2 minutes is the standard. I think there was one year where they were. It was like maybe even 3 minutes. So they can shift around that, but then it screws up having somebody try to beat the record. So you gotta,
no. I think I meant it as more like like pay-per-views that are not like Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank, like matches that are like 40 to an hour. Like you could easily incorporate a couple extra matches, but like Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, even Elimination Chamber to an extent.
Right.
Or bring back the pre-show matches. We don't need all that rundown. You don't need a 2 hour pre-show where this is all rundown and recaps. Because I mean, like we just mentioned a while ago, they had years and years where you would have New Day versus Usos every single pre-show, and that would still a show to bring some of these people up that's not getting regular airtime or never end up on a PLE. I have never seen. Who's that guy on Raw? The with Scarlett. He's married to Scarlett.
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Karrion Kross. I've never seen him on a pay-per-view ever. Because I took those 2 years off. I don't know if he was even on them then. I have never seen him on a PLE. I don't think I've ever seen him wrestle. You could give guys like that a shot, to be on the big stage, but no.
No, they'd rather give it to guys like Cody Rhodes, those young talents, Cody Rhodes,
And Logan Paul.
and Logan Paul. God, what the fuck? All right,
And,
so
and some dude named Speed from YouTube.
yeah, oh God. All right, before we get into that, let's just talk about the ladder match. When Cody Rhodes came out, I thought he looked a little extra sadder than usual, and I'm thinking, oh no, something's gonna happen tonight. Like, why is he looking so down? Why is he looking like he's ready to cry?
You didn't see SmackDown, or was it Raw? Because he was really down the dumps before the pay-per-view on one of them shows.
It had to be SmackDown.
Yeah, it was SmackDown. I think. Yeah, he was, because I saw clips of it, and he was. Yeah, he's got a whole new vibe, and he ain't wearing his suits no more. He's wearing this like jackets and stuff, like sports jackets, and I don't know. He's in a whole new frame of mind right now.
Guys looking like he was ready to burst the fucking tears on the ramp. I swear to God, like this
Yeah.
man was ready to, like, when he was doing the wall. I thought he was gonna break down crying. I'm like, bro, why are you looking so sad? Get to the ring. Don't cry. Hold in your tears. You could cry backstage when you're done. Don't cry on pay-per-view, dude, because you're gonna make us look bad. You're gonna make yourself look stupid here, Cody. Please, for the love of God. And then you have Kevin Owens, the real man's man, the real champion. He came out.
He signed a 5-year contract today with WWE.
You know what? I gotta give that man respect. This man,
Really?
man's making some bank. Man's probably making a lot of money. I mean. But you know what, though? I'm not surprised about that. I mean, the guy in the last couple of years main evented WrestleMania twice. He main evented against one of his, like, all-time favorite wrestlers in Steve Austin. He won the tag titles with his best friend. I mean, listen. The guy's at least being featured a lot. We just put a world title on him at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all he's missing is, he hasn't won the world championship yet.
I think in the next couple of years, guys, Triple H.
No,
come on.
He did. He 8 years ago. They said he was world champion 8 years ago.
Yeah, but we just don't want to remember how he lost it, though.
How did he lose? I can't remember. I just remember him winning it. I don't remember him losing it.
Wasn't it like the Universal Championship belt or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who he lost it to? He lost it to a bald man that Bret Hart does not like.
Oh God, no! Oh man. Okay, no wonder I put it out my memory. Okay, let's don't talk about that.
Yeah, no. So the real man's man, Kevin Owens, faced that boring man, Cody Rhodes.
The boring man.
You know what? I will say this: the match itself was very good. Like, especially towards the end there, like, you had a couple, like, really nifty spots. Like, I think there was one where Kevin Owens did a fisherman buster, like, onto a ladder, which was like, oh, dude, that was sick. And then, like, Kevin Owens was, like, bleeding towards the end, and Cody Rhodes became Homelander there for a second. And then, like, he did the Alabama slam, and, like, Kevin Owens just, like, died.
No, he didn't die. No, he didn't die. He came back.
But for a little bit there, we were like, oh man, this guy might not be alive. We might need to check. Somebody needs to go check on this man. He's either dead from the impact or dead from the fact that his heart may be broken by the fact that Cody Rhodes won the match. And Cody Rhodes cheated, by the way. So Kevin Owens is bleeding, very physical.
He cheated. What?
He did cheat because Cody Rhodes always cheats. Kevin Owens is right.
Oh, okay.
I thought the match overall was very brutal. I thought it was a very surprisingly good match.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't a very... The one thing I will say, too, it was not a very spot-heavy match. It was just more of a physical brawl-type match, but you had a couple really cool ladder spots in there.
Right.
Like, granted, I know, like, this would have kind of fucked everything up, and, like, it would have been like, oh, Kevin Owens would have had to won there, but it would have been really cool if, like, Kevin Owens did, like, a package pile driver spot in, like,
Ooh.
not like a ladder spot, like, do, like, something, like, really cool with the package pile driver, or, like, because I know, like, he did, like, the pop-up powerbomb off the ladder spot, but I was like, oh, I really wish he did something a little bit cooler there.
You got to be
But
careful of that. That's any type of pile driver. You got to be very careful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah. But again, it's just the sick wrestling mind in me that it's like, oh, I really want to see the package pile driver more. I mean, we got to see it on Raw, and I'm like, oh yeah, the package pile, because like it's the mark in me. When I see wrestlers do moves they haven't used in a while, I'm like, oh my god, yes, the package pile driver. I was like, yes, thank God he brought it back. When Sheamus does the Celtic Cross, I'm like, yeah, he does the Celtic. He did the thing. Same as they do the Brave Buster. I was like, yeah, and then but. I was like, okay, you know, I mean, granted, when Cody won, I'm like, is water wet here, guys? Like, come on. Like, we all knew it was gonna happen. We all knew we all knew he was gonna cry on the ladder. We all knew what was gonna happen.
Mhm.
Yeah. I full disclosure, I need to go back and watch it because I had to take a nap. I'm an old man. I had to take a nap at some point during the show so I could not fall asleep during the Rumble, and that was my designated nap match because I knew the finish. But I need to go back and watch it. I saw clips of it, and it looks like it was a pretty cool match. But yeah, I didn't actually see that one. So full disclosure.
You know,
I do feel like
I
Okay.
stayed away from the Rumble though. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do think that they are they are trying to turn Cody heelish a little bit because the stuff he was doing was very heelish. So I thought, okay, like they're really slowly but teasing you this heelish, which I can see why if he's gonna be wrestling John Cena at the at WrestleMania because they're not gonna switch him to being a heel. I don't see Cena.
I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. I'd rather see him wrestle anybody else but Cena. I just
100%. Part of me still hopes it might be Punk or anybody else for that matter.
It's got to be Punk. It has to be Punk. They put so much into that story about their beginnings and him going to his school or whatever, and then them going to OVW or whatever it was, and coming up. You know, they booked that so well. It's got to be. It has to be Punk. But no, but see, there's rumors this week that it's going to be Punk versus Seth versus Reigns, and who wants to see that match? Who?
like, well, we'll talk about that because like that I don't like that either. Like, realistically, I think that's just so like to me that's just dumb. Like,
Yeah.
you it feels like you're trying to overcomplicate it. Like, you could either do Seth and Punk, Roman Punk, or you could do Roman and Seth. You don't want. It feels like it's like, oh well, we don't really have any real good idea here, so let's just throw everything together. And it's like, no.
Let's make somebody the third wheel when you don't really need a third wheel. I mean, you just brought back AJ Styles. If you wanted, because there was a rumor I heard that they were looking to have Punk versus AJ Styles at some point down the line. So I'm like, that'll be a great match too.
Just
They could have done that.
Or you could just like have Punk versus Cody and then have Cena versus Reigns or something. I don't know. I just there's so many options, so many big guys. I just don't. I don't know why you need to have those three guys fight. But I don't know. I don't know.
No. And then we got the Royal Rumble match. I will say I liked it more than the Women's Rumble.
I'm going to be honest. I thought that was probably one of the best booked Royal Rumble matches up until maybe the somewhere in the final 10 where spots started getting a little bit sloppy, and you know you had that collision between Drew and LA Knight, and Logan and then. But that was such a great Rumble. That's probably my favorite since 2020.
It was a very strong Rumble. Like from beginning to
Agreed.
end, it felt like it was a lot more. I think there was a little bit more excitement and fast pace to it. Like I
Yeah.
think it was just booked better. I think. Like I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, Shifty. I think from like a Rumble and booking perspective, it was structured and booked perfectly. Like you had
Yeah.
Penta and Ray as your 1 and 2. You had a really good strong start there. Yeah, Chad Gable come out and I'm just like, oh my god, get this guy out of here, please, for the love of God, get him out of here quick.
Oh.
Chad, well, I mean, like, no, we need to get this guy like get this guy some help, please, for the love of God. Like we're putting him in the Rumble. No, he's easy eliminated. Like I was surprised he lasted as long as he did. Like me and my brother were watching it. We're both like, huh, he's lasted way longer than we thought he did.
Who, Rey
So,
Mysterio or Penta?
Chad Gable.
Oh, Chad. Yeah, Chad, definitely.
But Penta had a pretty good performance too. I was like, oh my, holy shit, that's pretty cool.
He was okay. I mean, he spent too much time in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did have some neat spots in between, so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. Braun Breaker, and again, another Rumble standout this year. Holy shit. You talk about a guy that's just... I'm telling you, put the rocket ship on this man's back and make him your next big star. This guy, oh my god. The way he runs the rope is so fast. He did the Frankenstein. I was like, yeah, the Frankensteiner. And then when Speed came in, because like I think I think it was Carmelo Hayes, which I'm very disappointed in how they.
Yeah, he
booked
threw
him
his
right
ass
away.
out.
Like he like hit Akira Tozawa, and then like I'm thinking, Akira Tozawa is being taken out. So does that mean that's gonna leave a spot open for a certain Zoa drinker? A certain Tiamana, Black Adam man, like what is this? And then Triple H like, no, Speed, come here, and then Speed's like, wait, what? He's like, you're in the match, and then Speed's like, no, I don't want to be. And then he comes out, and everyone's like, yeah, and then I think he eliminates Otis, and Speed goes, yeah, and then he's like helping Braun Breaker out, he's like, yeah, and then like Braun Breaker's like, all right, cool, we're friends now, and then he does the spear, and then everyone's like, yeah.
Yep.
On Twitter, there's a GIF that was played over and over that night, and the GIF is Speed and he's flexing, and then in the background you can see Braun running the ropes, but back and forth, and all of a sudden he just hits him with that spear. That's crazy. That's one of the best wrestling GIFs ever in the world. It was amazing. I hate this kid. I've only seen clips of him being annoying on YouTube. I don't know why he's so popular. I don't understand YouTube personalities, because the only people I really know is the originals from 2006 who were like vloggers, and then people like Rob and Danny and regular Joes from the internet. Not these guys that are multi-millionaires from YouTube. I don't understand the concept of that. But man, that was just so great. That was probably the best spear I've ever seen in my life. That was wonderful. But I thought for sure that they were going to get Rhea in the Rumble at that point when Tozawa got hurt. I thought he was going to, Mommy would be like, I'll go in the Rumble, and that didn't happen.
No, I wasn't really disappointed because I wasn't expecting it, but it would have been kind of neat. It would have been cool.
Yeah.
But and also too, Jacob Fatu was another huge standout in that Rumble.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god. Like they did like a little thing like teasing Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu, and I'm like, yes, please. Oh my god.
That was great.
I could just daydream like, oh my god, just the face off. Like that crowd loved Braun Breaker too. Like everybody was like doing the dog woofing, and like when he had Speed, everyone's like woof woof woof. I'm like, oh my god, this like again, you have two big stars here, guys. WWE, use them, please, for the love of God. Like it's.
I feel so sorry for you. You weren't old enough to go to a WCW show, because that was one of the greatest things. Even before the Steiners come out, you had people go hoo out in the audience. Yeah, that was dude got over big time with the barking. That was good times.
We actually got TNA surprise too. Joe Hendry, which I was like, yeah, it was just to be expected. I mean, you'd be stupid not to bring him out. But it was.
Did you see the interview where? Did you see the interview where he said that it's a possibility of him and Cena at WrestleMania? I'm like, what?
No.
No.
Come on.
I can see Roman Reigns give him a look again like he did at the Royal Rumble. Like, what? No. Get out of my ring.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, as soon as he came out, everyone in the ring almost went, yep, it's over. Our pushes are over, boys.
Clean house.
But you know what really surprised me about the Rumble is that Roman did not take his time coming down to the ring. I'm looking at the ramp and I'm going, oh God, Roman's gonna be like his entire entrance is gonna be the entire length of the Rumble here. Oh my God, this man's gonna take his time. He's gonna be walking down like he's gonna do the "We the ones, acknowledge me" thing, and then he started eliminating guys left and right. I'm going, yep, it's over. The push. But as soon as when Braun Breaker hit that spear on him, I'm like, holy shit! Like this man flew. I was like, yo, oh my God! Like, and then Rob was like, sorry, Uce, I'm not taking your finish. I'm not selling your finish. Get out. Get out, kid.
Yeah, Roman and Charlotte were the only two that had fireworks and took the longest time getting down to the ring.
Well, but I think the difference was I think a lot of people like Roman now than they do Charlotte.
Oh, 100%.
Like, as soon as Roman came out, everyone just stopped what they were doing. They put the ones up, and they're like, "Here comes God." And then Roman saw John Henry. He's like, "Man, I fucking hate TNA." He just speared him. He speared him and eliminated him right away. He's like, "Fuck TNA," and he spears him. Like it's like that. It's like what Wesley did during that whole feud with his friend there from TNA. He's like, "I hate TNA wrestlers." Like he said wrestlers in like a very like, I hate TNA wrestlers. Like that's all I can think of Roman doing. He's like, I fucking hate TNA wrestlers, and he just like spears Joe Henry to eliminate him. He's like, I can just think in his head, fuck TNA. And then Sheamus is like, what you doing, fella? And then he gets rid of him too. And then Braun Breaker's like, man, I like TNA. Woo! And then he like spears him, and then Roman's like, not today, Hoos. And then he throws him out. And then Roman's like, all right, I won the Rumble. And then out comes Drew being hater of the year. He's like, man, fuck the bloodline, fuck Roman Reigns, and he just starts beating him up. I was like, holy shit, this is wild. And then Cena came out, and everyone's like, yeah, John Cena, and I'm just rolling my eyes going,
yeah, they had the bald spot cam.
Yeah, the bald spot cam. He's crying like Cody. I'm like, oh God, oh no. This is as Super Cena's coming out full force. I was thinking, oh no, Super Cena's gonna come out. And he just stood there for a while, and we're all going, what are you doing, John? What you doing here? What are you doing here, John? Why are you standing here? And then Punk came out, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to make everybody fear for their lives. Everyone's going over the top rope right now. They're trying to escape CM Punk before he goes into a psychotic rage and just starts choking people out. And I'm thinking, oh God, this is... And then Seth Rollins came out. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then meanwhile, Seth Rollins is like, I fucking hate CM Punk. I fucking hate CM Punk. Like, I can just think in his head, he's like seething inside because he sees CM Punk. He's like, oh, I fucking hate CM Punk. I hate this man with all my life. And he sees Roman Reigns. He's like, I fucking hate Roman Reigns. I fucking hate CM Punk. Like, he's just like coming out of the ring. He's just like stomping down. He's like, I fucking hate both these guys. I'm gonna kill them both. Like, and then Roman's like, I fucking hate both these guys. And then Cena's like over there, like, oh my God, my best friend Phil is here. My best friend Punk is here. Oh my God, he's geeking out. Meanwhile, you got three of them like, I fucking hate all of you. I fucking hate this guy. Like, and then AJ Styles coming back to his CFO's team. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. His new music was not good.
No, and then it was okay for like what he was trying to do last year with like the whole like I hate LA Knight and I hate Cody Rhodes thing, but now he's just kind of a face again. So it's like, why did he even have the new theme there? Didn't make a lot of sense.
Also, this was a lot of people said this on Twitter. They said the themes are a huge problem. It's been a consensus for years that the new people doing the themes suck. That they just suck, and all the new themes suck. And they said that was a huge problem for the Rumble because nobody knows all these new theme music for all these wrestlers. They're not memorable, and it would take a a long time to register who is actually coming out until they actually came out. And part of the problems was they don't have Titantrons. They don't have the Titantrons that immediately show the name of pops up. That was a huge problem. Huge. I mean, for Trish, oh, that's Trish. That's Trish just from the laugh. But you don't have that for anybody nowadays. It's so hard to figure out. Wait, who's that? Who?
Yeah, no, it was especially bad when Finn Balor came out. Like he got a new theme, and I just went, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Exactly.
Like I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, who is this guy? That's Finn Balor come out, and I'm like, wait.
I can't stay. I wish they would just rename that group, because I mean, why keep the Judgment Day name if you're not going to use that awesome theme song they had from Alter Bridge? Why?
That was God.
I mean,
that theme was really good too.
They're just Judgment Day name only. It's not the same anymore, but yet they still call them Judgment Day.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And you know what else I don't get? How the fuck can you fuck up Drew McIntyre's elimination so bad?
Yeah, he was pissed off about that. He said people were showboating.
God damn it, I'm pissed off for him. Like, you know what? Justice for Drew McIntyre. Hashtag justice for Drew McIntyre. I bet this man was like, he's so mad. He was so mad he wasn't even like consumed with hatred over CM Punk. It's like, oh God, I hate.
Wait. Was this all planned? Because he said that somebody was showboating, and he was referring to LA Knight, who he's wrestling tonight on SmackDown for a match to get into eliminate. This thing was probably all booked.
It probably was, yeah.
Because there was so many things came out of that Royal Rumble where they were saying, "Oh, maybe it was Penta," but like Penta was already eliminated. It wasn't Penta. Damian Priest was the other one. Then it became LA Knight. It sounded like it was all over the place.
Because like Damian Priest, it doesn't like when I think of Damian Priest doing something like that, I'm like, no, there's no way. Like I don't think
he could botch a match, but
I've seen him botch, but I don't think he's ever done something he would do something like that.
Well, what it was is when they were twisting around to go to the ropes, one of them, it was either Damian or Drew. They bumped into LA Knight, who was doing his thing with Logan Paul, and they said that he commented it said somebody was showboating in the middle of the ring. So I guess he was, like I said, was referring to LA Knight, which they're wrestling tonight, so that it may be all booked. I don't know.
Yeah, it may have been a work.
It probably was. I wouldn't be surprised. So everything in the Rumble was going pretty good, and then Logan Paul came out at number 30, and I just groaned, and I'm like, Logan Paul, yay!
Did you see him practice?
No.
You didn't see him practice for the table leap? Yeah, he practiced.
No.
He practiced that a lot in the Performance Center because he was really worried he wasn't going to make the distance. And he says, if I don't make this, I got to retire as a professional wrestler. So he kept on. He had pads and he was doing the distance, and he actually made it. So he pulled off the Kofi spot.
You know, I will give him that. That spot was like sick. Like that was a really cool spot that he did. So I was like, okay, you know what? Much as I don't like the guy, you got to give the guy, like, he's athletic. Like, he understands, I think he understands wrestling than he does boxing.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I tell you, like, again, I don't like the guy personally, but from a professional wrestler standpoint, he's not bad. Like, he's someone who gets it.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right. You know, he's fine. But you know what's not fine is Seth Rollins' mental state, because Roman Reigns and CM Punk were at the Rumble with them, and Seth Rollins, like, there was like that huge stare down with him and Roman, and like Roman and Seth are just like, I fucking hate you. God damn it. I want to, like, more so. I think Roman at this point is like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna strangle you with all my being. Like, Meanwhile, CM Punk's like thinking, "Oh my god, I can't wait to go backstage and beat up Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre backstage with real glass. Maybe I'll beat Roman Reigns up too." It was like it was a high octane of emotions here.
And then I'm gonna call Larry, my dog, and say, "How are you, Larry? I miss you, Larry."
And then Larry's gonna get on the shoot fight too. And he's gonna start biting people. Like, oh my god, chaos backstage.
Just want to point out something. We had a lot of really, great wrestlers in that ring.
Yeah.
When you think about, from like Roman Reigns, CM Punk, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, just the generation of this generation and the next generation with Jey Uso and Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, you can throw him in there too. Just so many different these are the core people that they showcase in that ring. Those outside of Logan Paul, at least those 11 guys, they were making it clear these are the 11 guys that are right now are the big deal.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's been a while since I've seen a good Royal Rumble. We had some of the bigger names competing. It wasn't, especially I think Roman Reigns being in there, Punk being in there, really made a huge difference. And then the Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, just the years they had last year, and continue to excel this year too. So it's just, and AJ Styles, who's been, who's a legend in my book, and a guy that should be in the top 10, top 15 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Before I get to that, I want to say this too. I think it's the stuff with Punk, Roman, and Seth towards the end there, where they all got eliminated, and then Seth curb stopping Roman on the steps, and then Punk shoot fighting Seth. I was like, oh my god, that stuff was cool because I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense because Seth and Roman stuff, and then you got Punk and Seth who just hate each other, and they're shoot fighting, and I'm like, oh my god, they had to be pulled away because Punk was making Seth fear for his life. It was crazy. I'm like,
same with Paul Heyman. He was fearing for his life too because he owed Punk a favor.
Yeah, he owed Punk a favor, and meanwhile Paul's like, oh god, please no, I didn't mention real glass. Please don't choke me out, Punk, please, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Roman's all dazed and confused. He's probably concussed. He's got neck problems now because of that stuff. Meanwhile, Seth's screaming, "This is bullshit!" He's just Seth is just absolutely just out of his mind now. He's like, God damn it, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and I'm the bad guy. What is going on here?
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. They all get sitting in the floor, and Roman's he's looking at Punk, shaking his head, what did we, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just a curb stomp, bam, both feet on his head. That was nuts. That was it was crazy. We haven't had something that crazy in a long time in the WWE. And then Jay went in, and after that, wow, that was such a good Rumble.
Also, apparently, they did all that so Roman didn't have to work Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Roman's like, look, listen, I'm not getting pin deuce. I'm going on vacation. Seth can just put me out of action for a month. It's fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then Seth's like, this is bullshit. How is he taking a vacation while I'm standing here and I gotta wrestle CM Punk? And then Punk's like, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna eat some donuts and beat people up casually backstage. It's
muffins.
He's gonna eat his muffins. He's gonna eat his muffins and donuts, and he's gonna cause havoc in the locker room. As we can tell, CM Punk is clearly a problem.
You remember that interview thing they had after Survivor Series, where everybody was crapping on Punk and Jey Uso for taking away from Sami Zayn talking on the mic, and they were like, hey, "Can we get some desserts over here? Can we?" And yeah, that was a great clip. Yeah, they kept on pointing at the woman from back in craft services, like, we need some sweets. Bring them over here. And everybody online was like, that was so disrespectful to Sami Zayn. He was sitting there doing an interview, and he was trying to take over the interview to take attention off of Sami. But
for me, Sami, going back, I just remember an interview he did years ago, or at least a year and a half ago. He said something that bothered some people, where he said he was fine not being the number one guy. And I
Yeah.
feel like wrestling, like Punk, the CM Punks, the Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, they're looking at him going, like, why are you doing this if you're not trying to be the number one guy? So
Yeah, especially CM
yeah,
Punk, because CM Punk, if you heard that shit, a
yeah.
couple years ago, he'd punch a wall. Like he'd punch a hole in his wall, going, he'd go batshit crazy, because but jokes aside though, like I Punk, going back to Punk, he even said, and like, because when he was in AEW, like there was a lot of guys there that were content with not being the top guy, and Punk's like, what are you
Yeah.
Exactly.
doing? Like, why are you here?
But
Like,
here's the thing. Sammy, he's not the number one guy, but he's the guy that helped build the number one guy. He was so instrumental the last few years of the rise of Jey Uso. If it wasn't
oh
for
yeah.
him, yeah,
Oh, 100%. Like, I think it really just comes down to the context, because like certain guys will never be like the top guy, and that's
yeah,
okay. Like Sami Zayn's never really going to be the face of the company, but he's definitely going to be a main player by the way like he's been used. Like he's going to be a
yeah,
big main event guy.
Well, Sami Zayn to me reminds me of Mick Foley's personality back in the day, where he's such a nice guy and you know
yeah,
got picked on a lot and got questioned a lot. Like I remember the stuff with him and El Snow, and you know, and other things he did too. And it took the Hell in a Cell match for people to really take him seriously with Undertaker, and then it carried over for him finally getting a world championship belt. And I feel like Sammy's at that point where like, if you're going to continue this way, okay, but like you better hope something. You better try to change that at some point. Otherwise, like what are you doing this for? Where Mick Foley was a nice guy, but he had that competitor, that edge where like he wanted to do more, and he found another way to get through. Where I think Sammy just, it's just Sammy.
yeah. You got to wonder how his career would have been if Kevin wasn't there, because they've helped each other keep each other relevant through the years. And even when it kind of got tiresome of seeing them fight so many times, but I think those two really they just coming up through the business together and being best friends. It really helped each other a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially when neither one could be on top. Just have them. Okay, we can just have you guys fight again, and we'll try to build an interesting story up around it. I mean that they're there for each other, and that's what's kept relevant all these years.
I will say
Right.
before we talk about the Jey Uso stuff, like Sami Zayn is probably he's one of those people that benefited from Triple H coming in and taking over like
Yeah,
the book, because I mean when Vince was there, forget it. Sammy was like nowhere near where he is now.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
absolutely.
he was just the conspiracy theory guy that wrestled a comedy match with Johnny Knoxville. Like he was like when we're talking at the bottom of the barrel, that man was at the bottom of the barrel. And then once the bloodline stuff happened and once Triple H took over, this man went from being like, you know, mid card for life to now, oh my god, this man is main eventing WrestleMania night 1. Like
yeah.
he was so hot, and he still is. Like he is a guy that he's not like, I don't think he's gonna be the top guy like we've talked about, but he's gonna be
I don't know. He may have a Kofi moment at some point.
no, I definitely think he will. I think what I mean by like being a top guy is like he's not gonna be
Yeah,
the guy,
yeah, yeah,
but he's
yeah.
gonna be one of the guys, like big main event guys that they can rely on.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Um, and then and then kind of to wrap everything up here in a bow here with the main event stuff. Jey Uso and John Cena being the final two, I'm like, that was something I didn't see coming at first. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna have Cena win, so who are they gonna have him fit? Like, because I'm thinking like Logan Paul being part of the final three. I was like, oh really? Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
They was
interesting.
making it. I felt like we made it obvious. Oh, Cena's going to win this. I think everybody
Yeah,
thought that once Punk was like thrown out. So I was pissed because I was rooting for Punk, but once that happened, I'm like, oh, it's John Cena. It's 2009. 2008 all over again. 2010. It's Super
but
John Cena again.
Super Cena back with the shovel. Here we go.
You know?
That was what I was thinking too, Rums. I'm thinking, oh god, Super Cena's back. He's gonna hit the 5 moves of doom. He's gonna use the shovel on Jey Uso, push over. See you later. Cena main events lol. Cena wins lol's back. But then there's a few moments in there where I'm thinking, okay, they're not having Jey Uso win here, are they? And then like there was that
I Once Punk was gone, when the three main guys, once Punk, Owen, Rollins, and Reigns were gone, I was like, no, are they? No, are they going to let Jay win this? I was kind of something was up there at that point.
No, like because I'm thinking at first I'm thinking, oh, Cena's gonna win, okay, but then there was moments during there where I'm like, okay, wait a minute, like they're not gonna have him win. And, like there was a couple close calls there. I'm like, wait a minute, no way. And then like Cena had like Jay on his shoulders. And I'm like, oh no, God, wait. And then Jay countered, like pushed him off, and he won. And I'm like, and my jaw drops. I'm like thinking, holy shit, like whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't.
Sorry, just use a sports analogy or sports crossover. I was like, this has felt like the Patriots Seattle game where, like, you thought Seattle was going to win. Here's that big interception. And that big interception that you didn't see coming. This felt the same thing where Jey Uso just, won where you didn't see coming.
And you know what's funny? Nobody expected Jey Uso to win.
No, going in, no, absolutely not. I mean, no.
And I loved it.
Yeah. I screw anybody that hated it. I mean, it's, a lot of people on the internet shat all over it. I thought it was great.
You know what? And I want to comment that on that real quick because I don't get it. Like people like I view like I think somebody said best. The IWC is just a small minority. They're not a big vast majority. Like Triple H is not just booking for the internet people. Like he's booking for everybody. You hear the reactions Jey Uso gets on a weekly basis. You would be stupid not to have have him win here.
Right.
Like you know what he Triple H said years back during that great promo on Raw where he said, "It's I don't like what you did. I'm angry about this. I'm going to go talk to my friend Mark and complain about it on the internet."
You know, he's not part of it. He's not completely wrong there.
Yeah, that's what they did. Everybody's got a friend Mark apparently on the internet.
Oh, 100%. Like, see, I feel like the wrestling community would have been. See, here's the problem. Nobody was going to be happy if like anybody won because if Cena won, you're going to have the portion going, well, that was kind of pointless because it would have been the Charlotte argument. Okay, well, Cena's already an established guy. He would have gotten a world title match anyway. So what is he getting a Rumble win for other than, oh, he won the Rumble 3 times? Like, I get it. People were in their feels like, oh, we want to see Cena to win because that's his last Rumble. But here's the problem. One, he was not really involved in the build to the Rumble. So it's like, if he won here, it would have felt like a completely tacky, like, oh, it's his retirement tour, it's his last Rumble, you got to have him win, and then then it would have been a roll your eyes thing. 2, he hasn't won a match in a few years, so him winning the Rumble here would have been really stupid, because how are you going to have the guy that lost to Austin Theory and Solo Sikoa, I think in the same year, like, win a Rumble? Sorry, I don't buy it, And then if you had somebody like CM Punk win, you would have had all the Punk fans go. You would have had all the Punk haters going, "Wow, great! Here's CM Punk winning. Oh, everyone's handing CM Punk the win." If Roman won, everybody would have been like, "Oh, great! Roman wins, lol, haha, Roman wins."
Right.
And I see all the Jey Uso fans who are like, "Oh, he's just trash. Oh, it was stupid. It was very mid." I hate when people don't I feel like some wrestling fans just don't really think and they get in there all their feels because if you look at it from a business standpoint, it was the smart move.
Yeah. I mean, the guy is hugely over and it's a crossover crowd chant. It's
he's very
pop up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's very big internationally. I mean, go back and watch the was Backlash?
Backlash.
With France, where he got this huge over crowd and he wasn't expecting that, and since then it continued to really build that way for him.
It's like Daniel Bryan 2.0 in a way with the crowd interaction.
And I also feel like a lot of people are like, oh, well, Jey Uso was just over because of his catchphrase. No, he was over because he was in one of the best, probably one of the best storylines WWE has ever produced in a long time with the Bloodline stuff, and he got over naturally with the fans.
Right.
Like,
You know what's ironic about that? From what you just said, he's just over because his catchphrase. A lot of haters of Jay right now are LA Knight fans, and they kept on saying, "Well, why didn't he get pushed like Jey Uso?" And well, he's got a catchphrase too that it's gotten him over. And I just, man, it's.
I mean, I'm a fan of LA Knight. I really like LA Knight a lot, but the stuff that Jay's been doing, for the last 4 years, it
Yeah.
took, he really had to get to this point where LA Knight, yeah, I get he's been around for 20 years, but he just really started getting this popularity 2 years where Jay's been working his ass off to really, being away from that, just being that stigma of a tag team wrestler and not a solo wrestler. And just, he's evolved so much. And he wrestled, I think, just as much as Cody last year, too. Like, he did everything.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about a guy, like, this guy is so over. Like, I think it was the Raw after, like, they did the whole, like, he did his entrance, like, he was like, oh, the crowd was so hot for it, and then the crowd literally chanted one more time to do, like, the YEET stuff. And, like, they actually did it, and, like, the crowd just went nuts for it, and, like, Jay cut, like, this, like, great heartfelt promo. It's like, people just genuinely, I just think are fucking, like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
and
say every wrestling fan is stupid, but I think wrestling fans sometimes are fucking stupid.
and he got the Roman Reigns rub too when he went against Roman Reigns a couple of years ago for the Tribal by Combat thing for SummerSlam. I mean, that's when it really started growing for him and all that stuff. So he's come a long way, and now he's now a main. Now we can call him the main event Jay because he's gonna be main eventing WrestleMania, whether it's night 1 or night 2.
I genuinely hope, like, as much as I like Gunther, I really hope Jay beats him, because you can't have Jay win the Rumble here and then just be like, nah, we're not gonna have him win. Because if you do that, that's such a waste. Because you have a guy that's been organically, like, he's gotten over organically here. You have this great story here of Jay being like, oh, like, I need to be the standout guy. Like, I need to break out from this tag team stuff. And, like, he has done that. But to have that justifiable, like, him winning his first world championship after being screwed over so many times, that would be a genuine, like, oh my God, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And what makes me so mad about these idiots I hear, they shat all over his promo on Monday. They were like, he can't even cut a promo. Why is he pausing and stuff like that? That was real. That was genuine emotion. People are dumb.
Exactly.
I just think they're just people that are in their feels because they didn't get what they want.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, these same people were the same people going, "Oh my God, we love Jey Uso. He needs to be pushed." But all of a sudden, because like someone like a Cena didn't win, everyone's like, "Oh fuck Jey Uso. We don't like
Punk.
Jey Uso."
A lot of people wanted Punk to win.
I mean, I really want Punk to win, but you know what? I'll be happy to take Jey Uso. And to me, this is what the Royal Rumble's about. It's about this one unknown, one superstar that gets over, and that's what the Royal Rumble's meant to be, for somebody to get over, to get to that next level. And Jey Uso is an example of that.
Like, honestly, I'm much happier that Jay won than like anybody else, like a Punk or Cena winning. Like, I genuinely, like, when I saw him win, I was like, you know what? I'm in a good mood. Like, I didn't end the show rolling my eyes going, oh, great. Like, yep, Cena wins. Okay, good night. It was like, oh, wow, Jay won. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. That was unexpected. I want to see more of this. Like, like, there's a lot here that they could do. Like, I'm not saying certain people don't. I can understand why certain people are disappointed, but I think people really need to take a step back and go, okay, wait a minute. You have a guy here that genuinely, like, the crowd loves. Like, you can't sit here. Like, to me, I feel like that promo almost shut a lot of people up real quick. Or, like, just that entrance alone. That entrance alone, I think, shut a lot of people up real quick, because as soon as they were like, oh, nope, he's mid. No, nobody's going to like it. You compare the reaction he got to Charlotte, and I want you to come back to me and say, that was the wrong choice. I'm just saying.
And he better actually main event. Not main event. Not open the card or middle of the card. He better be the last match of night one.
Oh, no surprise, Drew McIntyre won tonight, so he'll be at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody kind of saw that coming. To be fair.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I genuinely don't want Cena to win the Chamber.
Yeah.
I know, like, people are like, oh, but Cena, it's his last WrestleMania. He needs to do it. No, if you want him to go after his 17th world title, build up to it and have him win matches. Do not have him win a Chamber and then have him lose, because then it'd just be stupid.
Because he still hasn't won a singles match in over 3,000 days.
No. Like, to me, like, this is the problem with this whole retirement tour. This man in a press conference was like, yeah, I'm going to go film a movie, so I'll be back for the Elimination Chamber. It's like, you know, last time I checked, I thought Cena was like, oh, it's my retirement tour. I'm going to take, you know, I'm going to work, like, not every week, but I thought he was going to be there for a good chunk of time, and it's like, oh, well, never mind. Okay.
Yes, that's what they made it sound they were going to do, but now it's just like he's there for every PLE versus showing up on Raw every other week or something.
I mean, he'll probably be there for, like, at least the Mania build, I think.
Right.
I would think he would be. And maybe, like, the bigger pay-per-views he'll be there for, like, the builds for, but, like, I'm a little like, oh, okay. Like, because the thing is, if you really wanted to convince me that Cena was going to win the Rumble, have Cena, like, come out, like, on Raw, like, for a couple weeks there, like, either Raw or SmackDown, have him win. Like, you don't have to have him wrestle, like, a 10, 20-minute match. You could give him a 5-minute, like, not like a squash match, but give him something to, like, give him a couple wins here and there, like, have it seem like, oh, okay, like, maybe they're building up to win the Rumble. Like, that would have had me go, okay, that would make sense, but you didn't even have him, like, work the build to the Rumble, so it's like, okay, I don't really want him to win, and it's like, he hasn't done anything to really justify him winning. Like, oh, he's John Cena. Like, no, I don't care if he's John Cena. What the fuck has he done the last few years to justify it?
I'll tell you what he's done. I'll tell you exactly what he's done. Check your DM.
All right, I am checking my DMs now.
But that's the other thing, because, you know, Cody Rhodes is the world champion for SmackDown. Like, if John Cena wins that Elimination Chamber, does that mean everything's going to be on SmackDown now? Like, how this whole thing's going to work now? Because I would think that Netflix wants John Cena on Raw.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what happens. I'm kind of hoping, like, what they do is they give Randy Orton and John Cena one more match at WrestleMania, because that's something that fans would like to see. So I could see that being something they would do for, like, the fans who grew up in that early 2000 era with the two of them. That's something I would like to see them do with John Cena, so he can win his first singles match and build up that he hasn't won one in 3,000 days. And then once he wins that, then we start building towards SummerSlam for him to finally win 17.
You know, I'll be honest, I was against this before, but honestly, a Logan Paul John Cena match at Mania and just give Cena a win here, I mean, I think I'd much prefer that, because, like, I think, like, him and Orton would be a great match for Mania, but I think the problem is, it's like, it's kind of one of those weird things, because it's like, I feel like Orton losing to Cena here would be kind of like a blah thing, because it's like, Cena beating Orton at this point's not really going to do anything to either guy, because if Cena beats Orton, then it's like, oh, Cena won for the billionth time against him, so it's not like it's a surprise. And if, you know, and it's like Orton beats Cena now, and everyone goes, well, even if Austin Theory can beat John Cena, I'm pretty sure a guy like Randy Orton can beat him. You know, it's like, but I also, it's just, I don't know.
It's something that would be nice to see, though. Those two.
It would.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely going to do it later down the road. Like, we all know it's a probability. It's a high probability it will. I mean, but I think you'd be stupid not to do it.
Yeah. But show what I sent you.
Let me see here. We're going to my.
I just saw it today. Wow, this is crazy.
There's a hashtag. There's a hashtag trending, by the way. It's saying, "We want Drew. We want McIntyre." I agree.
This is going to sell out so quick. Oh my God, this is the greatest action figure ever.
The
Oh, you can't see me?
the
Yeah.
invisible Super Cena.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that earlier. That's pretty hilarious.
yeah.
That is sick.
It's see through. It's you can't see him.
That is genius.
They better made enough of those because people are going to go ape shit over that. They're going to.
Well, it's a
Man.
collector's edition, so they know this is going to be one of those things collectors are going to like fly for.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Good job, Mattel.
It reminds me of like 2K23 when they had like that one match in the showcase where you had to fight a Super Cena, but it's just John Cena, but like he's just invisible.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
that I was
funny.
like, oh, that was good. It was dorky, but I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun.
How did that work? How
So he's invisible except for his shorts and his wristbands.
oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, that's fun. I just thought I'd send it to you because yeah, it's neat.
No, that is very neat. That's very cool actually. But yeah, I feel like we covered. I think we pretty much ranted about it. Other than, oh yeah, no Rock by the way. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. My heart's broken. And
Yeah.
Man, I'm pissed off because that cost me a lot of points in our prediction results.
speaking of, do we want to go over the results?
I just want to add one thing. I was surprised we didn't see Solo. Randy Orton seems to be still injured, so but the biggest story is not seeing Solo after the big push he got last year. I think
Yeah,
that's very telling.
I thought Solo would be there. He may be hurt. I don't know.
I think a part of me kind of was like, as soon as that Roman feud was over, he just went. I feel like he's gonna go down the card a little bit because,
Maybe.
I mean, I don't hate Solo. I think I've said this before. I think he's somebody who just got put into the main event scene way too quick, and
Yeah.
he was not ready for it. Plus, by the time it really didn't help that his booking beforehand wasn't great. And then you try to have a main event SummerSlam, and it's like, I just don't buy this guy to be a main event talent. Like, I just don't. Like,
Well, not yet, not yet. And then plus
not yet.
Jacob overshadowing him massively. So
I mean, obviously, of course, I'm talking about Tongaloa, of course. I think that man's gonna be he's gonna
The
be
next big thing.
he's gonna be he's gonna be a wrestler. It's gonna be the thing. He's gonna be the next thing.
no, he was always the weak link of the Bullet Club in New Japan and the Gorillas of Destiny. Yeah.
What, you didn't like his strikes he did to Okada Shifty, where he just gave him like
No.
really soft?
No.
That is so.
Yeah.
It's still so fucking funny. I don't know what it is that's so funny about it, but it is.
That whole move set there. That's got to be in the game this year. It has to be.
Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is so devastating. Like, I immediately like, oh my god, stop. No, that's too much. No, he's gonna tap out. Oh my god.
So those Rumble predictions. Wow. I really shat the bed with my Rock predictions, but here we go. The men's Royal Rumble winner. Nobody got that right. Nobody.
Nope.
I said nope. CM Punk, Rock. That's what we chose. Final Four. Everybody gets a point for whoever they picked in the Final Four. It's 4 possible points. Everybody got 2 right, so it's 2 points for each of us on that. Final 2. There was only 1 point given, and that was for Punk and Cena. Austin got a point on that. Surprise entrant, not The Rock. Austin was the only one that got a point for Joe Hendry. Who will be? Will Rock be 31? Both y'all got a point because I'm the dumbass that said yes. Yes, Rock will be 31. I should have said would he be 30 or 31? Because if he came out as 30, I still would have lost because I said 31. Will there be a Kofi spot? But technically there was, but it wasn't Kofi. So y'all both get a point because you said no. There was no Kofi spot because Kofi wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. Will Rhea appear in the men's Royal Rumble? She did not. Both y'all get a point. Longest in the Rumble. Austin said Carmelo. Rome said Braun. I said Seth. I think Braun was the longest in there, so that's a point for Rome's. Women's Rumble winner Charlotte. Austin said Charlotte. He gets a point. Final two in the women's Royal Rumble. Everybody gets a point because everybody picked Charlotte. Will AG Styles appear? Y'all surprisingly said no. I said yes. So I finally get a point there by myself. Will AJ Lee appear? And we all said yes. Unfortunately, she did not. Does Cody retain the WWE title? We all said yes, surprisingly. So we all get a point. Who wins the tag match? Roman's got it right. DIY. Will we find out what Punk's deal is with Heyman? Me and Austin got that right. We said no. Roman said yes. Best showing in the women's Rumble. I don't know technically what that would entail. So I didn't know how to score that one, but I don't think it would have made a difference anyway. I said Grace just for that one holy shit moment, but I mean, I don't who lasted the longest in the Rumble. It was EO and
Liv Morgan, and Roxanne,
Roxanne, I think.
Roxanne. I think Roxanne was the longest because she was in the final three.
Well, everybody said Grace, so I don't know if I didn't award a point there because I didn't know how to really judge that one. But who took out Jade? Will we find out? Everybody said Bianca. We didn't find out, so that's still in the cards. The results: Austin, you got 11 points. Rome's, you got 9 points, and Shifty, you got 6 points. So, yeah.
Oh, so I won.
You won.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, let's go.
I think it's your first time.
I believe so. Well, technically, this is the official first time since.
Well, we did it last time when we used to play them in the group chat, but
Yeah. But like, this is like the first time. Like in terms of like official capacity, this is I'm the first champion. But in terms of like an actual predictions thing, I did win. This is my first time, so.
yay.
I am the inaugural predictions champion, and
until Shadow comes in here and beats all of us.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of him, but
his schedule is totally different. He's in the UK, so.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do now since I'm the predictions champion. I'm gonna put
You gonna put a crown on your?
I wish I could put a crown on my my thing, but I'm gonna put the predictions champion, Austinator.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I didn't even think that stuff out. I mean, I just.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Rock, goddamn you! Why didn't you come and wrestle in the Royal Rumble this year? You cost me. You cost me like 5 points, or something like that. Man, Rock screwed me over.
Shifty, I'm not gonna lie. When The Rock didn't show up, a part of me was very disappointed. I was devastated. I wanted to be wrong so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, please, Rock, please go. There was a couple moments where I'm thinking, oh, here we go. The timer's gonna come down, and it never did. I'm like.
I was actually hoping he'd show up on Raw and take away Jay's Rumble win just to get heat. That would have been so fantastic. After last year, he'd be like, "Nope, sorry, I'm pulling it because I'm the final boss and on the board." And everybody was like, "Boo, boo."
And then he's like, "I'm giving it to myself because I'm the final boss."
Yeah, or I'm giving it to Roman.
And he just starts screaming saying that I'm the final boss. He's just gonna start screaming that I'm the final boss for like an hour. He's just gonna be like, I'm the final boss.
Day one-ish.
Mhm.
Like he'll have like veins popping out over his face, and he's just screaming at him. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I just read this. Carmelo Hayes finally got his first pinfall victory in singles action since September of 2024.
Wow. Yeah, he needs to repackage himself or something. They gotta figure something out with him because since he got up to the main roster, it just hasn't been working with him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was on the main roster. I don't watch SmackDown.
I watched a lot of SmackDown last year before they went to Fox Network when they were still on Basic TV or whatever it was at the time. I think they're on Fox 20, like Fox Basic Fox, and now they're on like FS1 or something. No, no,
Yeah,
no, they're on USA now. Excuse me, not FS1.
yeah. SmackDown was always weird to me because I was a Raw guy because I started from episode 1, and it's like, what is this
Mhm.
crap show? It's like you're either a SmackDown guy or a Raw guy. So I was always a Raw guy, so I never
I've always
really
loved
watched.
both of them.
Yeah,
I never get enough wrestling, and SmackDown had some really good stuff last year. I think right now that Raw's on Netflix, it's like everything's like pushed on Raw and Netflix, where SmackDown is now feeling like the B channel now, the B show, where Raw's back to being the A channel, the
yeah.
A show.
There's guys on SmackDown I've never seen wrestle. Kind of like Karrion Kross, like Pretty Deadly. Who's Pretty Deadly? I've never seen Pretty Deadly. Who? Why are they wearing those shirts? I mean, what did the shirts make them Pretty Deadly? What?
I don't know. Oh, I love how Kevin Owens confirmed that he signed a new contract by saying like, "Hey, can you go support my daughter's Girl Scout troop by buying Girl Scout cookies?"
Hmm.
He's like,
Yeah,
"I
pretty.
promise if you do it, I promise to keep wrestling for at least 4 more years."
That's funny. Shifty, Pretty Dilly's been around for a few years.
Oh, they have?
Yeah, they're not really new. They just been on SmackDown the entire time. I mean, for whatever reason, you find more tag team matches on SmackDown than Raw.
Oh, okay. Never seen
Nobody
them.
cares
Very
about them.
crazy.
No.
Oh, breaking news for 2K25 real quick. You can now perform finishers and signatures from the top of the ladder like in old games, meaning they brought something back old, but they're gonna bring it back as a new thing. Are you surprised? No.
No, but I tell you what, that backstage arena that's set in the archive warehouse, that looks so fun.
Yeah, that
That
looks
it does
cool.
look cool, yeah.
That and the intergender stuff coming back finally.
Indeed. Ah, well, guys, that we're about an hour and 47 into this. I
And
think we're gonna call it unless there's something you guys want to bring up.
yeah, Drew McIntyre's mocking LA Knight on Twitter.
Uh,
I mean, are we surprised at this point?
No, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Drew's become such a likable guy, even though he's seen as a heel. It's just the guy can, he's just been has done a phenomenal job with really pushing himself
yeah,
the last year.
Man, but we all love Drew McIntyre on the show. You know what?
Drew Mac.
We want Drew. He should be the one facing Cody at WrestleMania, not John Cena.
Drew for gold.
Drew for gold. He actually wins the title this time and holds it longer than a day. Please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be yeah. So, all right. Anyway, guys, so let's we're gonna call it here. Shifty, where can they find you at?
You can find me on the Twitter. That's Shifty Gism, Shifty GISM on the Twitter or the X or whatever you want to call it. I just post some things about action figures and Walmart stuff, and yeah, Walmart. Yeah, that's interesting stuff. And sometimes I do streams on PSN. Maybe, hopefully, I haven't done none for the past 3 weeks because I've been sleeping because sleep is cool. But I got some new games here, so maybe I'll do something.
Very cool. Very cool. Rome's, where can they find you at?
They can find me at the Cool Kids movie review tomorrow. We're gonna be doing it. I think we're doing. I'm not sure if we're doing what's called Heart Eyes, the Heart Eyes movie, or the Love Heart movie. We're doing something tomorrow, or a combination. You can also find me on Storms Nation on Sundays, and I do my own channel on Rome's where I just talk a variety of different things, movies, TVs, and things like that.
He's doing much more interesting stuff than me.
Very cool, very cool. You could find me on my channel where potentially tomorrow, me and Angry Care Bears, we're going to be talking about The Matrix Resurrections.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's going to be very, very interesting. You can find me on the Cool Kids when I'm there. You can find me on Storms Nation on Sundays, the Hangout usually on Wednesdays. I'm a little bit of everywhere. Come check me out. Yeah, with that being said, guys, I think that about does it. So, thank you guys for watching. This is the Ostinator signing out.
later.
Later.
Peace.
That's awesome.